You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Braxton Family Values After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Braxton Family Values After Show.
Love it.
Yeah, some old school Toni Braxton right there. Y'all know the song is called Take This Ring Off, her album Libra, came out in 2005. So good. Being is for doing, and welcome back to another Braxton's Family Values After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Happy Easter to everyone who celebrates Easter. I am Jason J. Carter. Hey, co-host, how you doing?
What up? I'm Ashley Gray. Make sure that you tweet us during the show if you have any questions or comments, want to join in on the conversation. We would love to hear from you. And over here, my little green Easter bunny.
You know, still in the spirit, Happy Easter, everybody. It's your host, Larice Shamar. Thank you for joining us again.
Yes, we are back. So good to see you guys. You guys look very festive. I, on the other hand, was quite depressed today, so I'm wearing gray.
It's okay. It's okay.
You know, my Easter was uneventful. No candy, no eggs, no bunnies, no nothing.
No dinner?
No dinner. No,
I gave you candy.
Yeah, no, Marissa, you did.
She
and
did.
I also had a really tasty chicken burrito from Taco Bell.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
wow.
it's
Super
better
good.
than nothing.
Right, they changed the recipe. They're bomb right now. So there we go. Hi, how you living? Braxton's Family Values, episode 3, season 3, and this one's called Tamar-vention. But hasn't all 3 episodes been a Tamar-vention?
I think so.
I think so.
Like, really? I feel like they really have nothing to talk about but Tamar.
Because she's like the bomb, and everyone loves Tamar. Tamar is what's hot right now in the Braxton family, and they really don't. I think that they're, like we said last week, jealous, and we'll probably repeat the same stuff that we said last week, because what else do we have to talk about?
Hey, but you know what, though? I think it's more than jealousy. I think it's their opportunity to kind of like really feel like I'm being part of the show now, because as long as I get to argue, like Trina, Tawanda, you know, Tracy, it's like they're feeling fulfilled in the show.
Right, they have a purpose.
Kinda.
They're not the wannabes, remember? Tracy, the wannabe. Trina, the party girl / alcoholic.
But they use Tamar's lines, like "get your life." Like Tamar coined that, and now you see the other sisters saying "get your life." Honey, you don't. I don't even feel a passion behind that "get your life" when they say it.
At the same time, I think they're just mimicking Tamar, basically letting her know like you really sound like
idiotic, stupid.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like "get your life," like right back at you.
I really think that they really be trying to just deliver that line, "get your life."
Right, it's
You
like get your life.
No.
Yeah.
I've never said that ever before. Even I
be like, Ashley, get your life.
Okay.
Last time I did, Ashley, I'm gonna need you to get your life. Maybe get 2 lives.
So serious now.
Maybe have 9 of them. But you know, here's the thing that blows my mind, though. You two, I have brothers and sisters. I have a twin brother, an older brother, and a little sister. I would never in life talk to my siblings the way these ladies argue with each other or attack one person.
But it's the fact that it's all women. It's you got brothers, and I'm pretty sure your little sister, like, she looks up to you as like, this is my big
She's the
brother.
baby, though.
I would never talk to him, speak to him like that. Could you actually look at Trina talking to her mom like that?
We're gonna talk about that. Hold that one. I'm gonna let you go ham on that one in just a bit. Let's start things off with Miss Toni Braxton. Now, we always say Toni is a legend.
Yeah.
And apparently Toni is still doing shows around the world. Good for you, Toni. I'm still waiting for that album. You had an amazing single last year, I Love You, or I Heart You. Great club joint, off the hook. But after that, we heard nothing.
Yeah.
So today, she has been invited to perform at an event to honor Barry Manilow. I'm a fan of Low. I love Barry Manilow. I mean, I grew up seeing Barry Manilow on Solid Gold. You know, my mom loved Barry. He's good stuff. Barry's great. Barry and Aretha Franklin, they're awesome.
Okay. We like Barry.
We get it. You a Barry
Tweet
fan.
that. We like Barry.
We like Barry. Get your life. No. But, so Toni's asked to perform for Barry. And, you know, Toni... Is it me, guys, or is she kind of corny? Like, whenever Toni...
Oh, my gosh. She's beyond... Thank you. I was telling him while watching the show, like, this is so boring. She is so... Like, I can't believe they did a whole segment. Okay, what is this? I thought it was candy.
First we get candies, now we get koozies. We get coasters.
But I'll take it.
Marissa's so gangsta.
She is so boring. Like, out of this world, ridiculous. Snooze fest.
And I mean, we love Toni's music. So she's singing to Barry, and you know, she's like in her raspy.
That's a sex appeal.
I don't even like it.
It's not even like
over it.
You're like, can you complete a full phrase without it dropping off into? But
she's showing the range. She's showing her talent.
Right. You know, she's got that raspy. I love when the sisters make fun of her. But she says to Barry, "Oh, is that your girlfriend? Oh, you love her." I'm like, Toni.
Do you not know?
I mean, okay, and I Googled this, and if I'm wrong,
please let us know.
Let us know. I'm not trying to start any rumors, no TMZ, Perez Hilton drama here at AfterBuzz, but
Never.
I thought Barry Manilow was a little festive. I mean, you know, we might find him in West Hollywood from time to time on a box somewhere. I mean, Toni, what rock were you living under to ask if that was his girlfriend?
She was putting on a show, you know. At the same time, the meaning behind the song is basically two people enjoying each other, because that's the type of music that she makes.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's just the fact that
She's free.
maybe she didn't do her research like you, but at the same time, she was just like, she did a performance.
Yeah. Or maybe she doesn't care. Like, Anderson Cooper, I love you.
Yeah.
And I would have all of your babies if you wanted me to. I don't care if you don't like me or not. So
Ellen DeGeneres, Fox.
See, there we go. So
Cheryl Underwood, I got you.
So we all have our crushes that may not love
Katie
us.
Lang. Melissa Etheridge. Oh, you could get it, girl. Right, but actually, good point,
So
though. Yeah.
maybe she just really doesn't care. And, you know, you're right. She was putting on a show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all fun and games at the end of the night with
Right.
a little raspy tail.
But is that one of her newer songs? Is that a song from her last album?
No, well, her last album was called Pulse. It came out in May of 2010. It had that song Hands Tied and Woman. It did okay. I think it went gold. This I Heart You was just a one-off single. You know, this show, a lot of people do, especially if you're on a reality show and you're a singer, you'll do a one-off just for the promotion. A great song. Video was great, shot by a longtime video director of hers, Billy Woodruff, good friend of mine, super cool guy. I love Toni's music. Toni does not have bad music.
Maybe she's just preparing to come out with a new album.
I hope so.
I hope so. Maybe that's like the season finale. Toni Braxton.
Her music is okay, but I feel like it fits like another not my generation. I just can't get into it. It's too old. It has an old soul
She like
to
40 plus club?
Yes, probably.
I
I just can't I love you. I can't. This is my.
Well,
everybody
off.
wants to be in love.
Give us a song. It's called I Heart You from Toni Braxton. It's a feel good jam. Have you heard it before?
I have.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you think it's kind of.
It's okay. It's nothing that I would just turn on the radio and.
Ratchet.
Oh my
Ratchet.
God. No, they didn't. So they trying to say I only like ratchet.
She like,
no, Ash. You're Sophista Ratchet. You're the new beta Ratchet.
First of all, to set the record straight, I am Sophista Ratchet. Okay.
There you go. This is hot.
it's just like, watch the intro. It's like,
So you
wait.
like this song?
Yo, after
hey, I would listen.
We need to give Ashley some Beyonce wins.
She's like, I feel this.
I don't want it.
Just ooh. Yes, ooh.
Please,
Ooh.
people on iTunes.
Ooh.
Speaking, okay, while we're listening to this music, iTunes, make sure that you rate, comment, and share. I noticed that we only had 4 stars, so we want to know what that is all about. We want 5 stars. So if you want the show to improve in any way, go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know what we're doing wrong so that we can fix it.
And we will fix it,
And
damn
make
it.
sure that you leave a comment telling me if you like that song or not, or tweet me because
Electric. I love it.
Okay, maybe like for a wedding.
But just look how it goes. It's kind of like a silhouette, and it kind of comes up and like.
It goes hard in the club. I first heard it in the club, and I was like, "Ooh, what? New Toni?"
Toni?
I can see it's happening at the Abbey.
Download today.
Okay.
So, Tamar Braxton, you know.
Like, next topic.
Well, no, here's the thing. Tamar, I have been a fan of Tamar for the longest time, and I did not know she was full out until I started watching the Braxtons. And at first, you know, you're wondering, is it for camera? But I have a true Tamar story that is full out, and she is amazing. So I used to work at a phone store in Encino. They live in Encino. Tamar came in and bought a phone for me. Mm-hmm. And I told her, Tamar, you know, I have your first album. She was not trying to hear it. She's like, I need a phone. So I showed her a couple different phones. Again, that's hot. Oh, this house cute. This hot. This hot. Did not want to talk about Toni. fast forward 3 days later, she comes back. Why'd you sell me this? Why? This ain't hot. I was like,
3 days ago, it was hot.
Handed me my butt on a platter. So the Tamar we are seeing on TV is the Tamar that is actually real and no joke, and bomb.com, real.com.org. She's not playing. That's her real personality, so I got to give it to her. However, now that she's a star, now that she's doing Anderson Cooper, which, by the way, I was shocked to see her on Anderson Cooper.
I actually love seeing her as a host. I think that she has a really great level of professionalism. I think that her deliveries were really great. Her interaction with Anderson Cooper was amazing. And he's, you know, amazing host.
And journalist, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, for her to be able to keep up with him, I thought it was great.
Well, they did have alcohol on the table, Ash. So I mean, that might have been in the mix.
I can really be a great host with alcohol.
With a couple
you know what? Because we see her, and a lot of people associate her with being ghetto, very loud, very just over the top. I think that it was really great to see her a little bit more reserved, but still, you know, personable and funny and showing her personality.
I think this really just depends on who she interacting with.
Yeah,
because
and
when she went to
which is amazing.
When she went to Jack Thriller, she was just really kind of thrilled, like, real, this guy has one eye. I was like,
you look like an 8-ball.
Right, like she's just going ham. She's shooting she was shooting her new video for Love and War, which watching the video, I thought it was cute. I mean, it could have been, but it was very reminiscent Mariah Carey "Hate You" though. If you watch both of those videos back to back, you'll see little elements of sexy on the beach, sexy on the beach, more sexy on the beach, cute. Yeah. Great video for a great song. I think it could have been a little bit more, but again, we see little splotches of Tamar being a diva, not wanting to get into a dirty bathtub.
Yeah. And speaking of the dirty bathtub, I think it was from the guy's shoes when he stepped into the bathtub. It was not actual dirt, people. Right. That's I was like, Tamar,
she's being a brat. She's being a brat.
How does Vince put up with that? How are they together?
Because he don't say nothing. He's just like, okay, whatever you want, whatever you wear the pants, I wear the.
I don't think so. I don't think that Vince is a pushover at all. No. I just think that he deals with it. We don't know. Maybe he was raised by women. We don't know if he has a lot of interaction with women in his family. I think that it takes a strong man to really put up with a woman like that.
But of course.
And I don't think that he's a pushover at all. I think Tamar just has a huge personality, and only a handful of people, you know, can deal with that.
Right.
And
yeah, he's just kind of like he accepts her for who she is.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing. I think that that's how it should be. I'm not going to, and I'm sure Tamar would not, you know, tone down who you are, your personality to fit anybody's mold.
Why would you?
Exactly. So that's the diva. And I love it. I love Tamar. She is too much, but who cares?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because I agree with you on a lot of those points, Ashley, that, you know, especially in this industry, people are always telling us who to be, how to be, you know, watch the energy you're giving off, be aware of this, and that. And really, sometimes that's stifling who you are as a person. That's stifling your talent. That's stifling the person you have evolved to become at this point, this time, this very date. So, I mean, I don't think Tamar is too much. Over the course, I keep saying over the course, amongst the different shows we've seen and the different seasons that have aired for Braxton's Family Values, we've seen Tamar mature a little bit. And I do think that she does have a logical head and a logical mind about things, because she really is a perfectionist. And I identify with the fact that she tells it like it is, because in the long run and at the end of the day, that's what's going to benefit you more, is when you keep it real and keep it 100 and say, look, Larice, blah. And you know,
but at the same time, though, I think when you kind of tell it like it is, like to a certain point, that nobody really wants to work with you.
Right. We have to have tact, right? Like, it's how you say it. It's not what you say.
It's how you say it. How you deliver the message to them. And the way things kind of develop between the sisters now is like, because the way she's been delivering the message, everybody's kind of like on Tamar.
That's the point tonight. And you know, Tracy and Trina both said, you know, it's what she says that's so, you know, wrong. They said that Tamar had attacked all of their marriages. Talked about Kevin, who's Tracy's Gabe. Well, I mean, Gabe, yeah. You know, Tawana, Andre. But you know what? Let's keep it really gangster real quick. Gabe and Andre, I would have talked about you too. I mean, Andre, you couldn't get off the couch for more than a week after playing Call of Duty. And Gabe, really, that ponytail and showing your man parts to another woman on Twitter and online. I mean, who wouldn't talk about you?
Exactly. And I don't think, what do you have to talk about Vince? What did he do wrong? What's going on? The only thing that you can say is that you guys are Velcro, which I don't, you know, it can be a bad thing. but I don't personally see it as a bad thing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, at the same time, I think Vince has kind of know his place, especially like with the whole Braxton Family Values. Even on the Tamar and Vince show, he still kind of knows his place. He does his role, you know, which basically to be very supportive to Tamar, to make sure that everything she needs, everywhere she goes, every event that she goes to, he's there to support her.
Yeah.
So like he's playing his role like as a husband, as a great man in her life. He plays that role.
Right. Well, also tonight, Tamar knew about the planned intervention with her sisters, but Shamie her decided that, you know, I have a video to shoot, so if I get there, I'll get there. If not,
I think
my
the
bad.
video shoot, I mean, think about it. A video shoot is going to be already scheduled.
Financed.
So I think that she was right in going and taking care of her business. She still showed up. She may have been late, but she showed up. Now, the sisters, I'm sure that this therapy session was not scheduled, you know, months in advance. So that was on their part.
I guess they really just kind of like scheduled the therapy session because they knew Tamar was actually going to be in L.A. and Toni was going to be in L.A. So it's easier for the family. Okay, well, everybody's there, so let's just kind of come. And after your video shoot, we'll kind of like do whatever. We'll
kind of powwow. Well, Toni and Tamar both live in Los Angeles. The other ones live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So enter Dr. Sherry. First of all, this Dr. Sherry chick, she is everywhere, man. She's on the Housewives of Atlanta, Big Rich Atlanta, the Braxtons. Dr. Sherry, and I look at her and I'm like, how's your life doing, Dr. Sherry? You know, have you got your life yet?
Yeah,
how's your husband? Because she's always like giving people advice about, you know, family and, you know, and the girls. We're going to call up Dr. Sherry. Why do you need a family therapist to work out your family problems? There's 5 of you. You should call in. I don't know, but is Dr. Sherry like the only one available?
I mean, but I think it's, well, to that question, I hope she's not.
Because Dr. Sherry is like on the move. Next she'll be in a Target commercial. Dr. Sherry. Target. Collection by Dr. Sherry. April 9th. Yeah, you know.
Speaking of Dr. Sherry, I don't think that she really handled that therapy session very well. There was a lot of talking over each other. No one really got a chance to express their feelings without someone interrupting.
Right.
And, you know, I think that it's really positive to show someone else coming into a situation to try and hash out a situation within the family, because it's good to have someone's perspective from outside of the intermediate family. So I really think that bringing in a therapist is a great opportunity to really get all of your feelings on the line without anyone interrupting. But obviously that didn't work because people went cray-cray.
But at the same time, it's not the first time they had this experience with Dr. Sherry.
No.
You know, and
every season.
And the thing about it, she comes in with no outline as to how should I handle the situation, because she has an idea what the situation is, because it's all about everybody against Tamar. Tamar is not talking to the family, or they can't express their understanding or their feelings towards Tamar without her getting offensive about it. So she comes in with like no guidelines as of, okay, cool, this is what we specifically need to talk about, and I will be the one directing the conversation to Tamar and relaying this message to Tamar.
Like she's a messenger, essentially.
Yeah, like the mediator. She just kind of sat there.
I think that she may have been facilitating the situation, which if she's taken that role, then that's kind of, I think that in this particular stance where all of these girls are arguing, I think she should have took a more dominant stance.
I agree.
Instead of being a facilitator, because personally, I do feel like everyone was attacking Tamar. Like, there should not have been conversation before Tamar got there, because it just hyped up the girls like, yeah, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about that.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not right. Everyone was attacking Tamar. And if I was her, I would be like, I'm out of here too. Like, I'm not about to sit here and let everyone talk about me. I'm always the bad guy. I'm always this. Yes, I'm spoiled. Yes, I'm a brat. So what? Either we're going to deal with it or we not.
But I don't think they're really getting to the root of the problem, though. It seems like every episode they're skimming. It ends up being Tawanda's the most vocal, and Tawanda really. It seems that her issue is that Tamar was not forthcoming with information about Tamar and Vince. Fine, whatever. But is that really that big a deal? I think there's got to be something more meaty that's really making them mad. That it's like the big pink elephant in the room that everyone knows, or maybe Tawanda's feeling, but is afraid to say because she'll look embarrassed. And it's easier for her to say, "Well, Tamar, you're this, you're that, you're this," when really Tawanda, the insecurities within herself, she's deflecting.
It could be a great, I mean,
deflection.
There's our word of the week.
Yeah,
Deflection.
Deflection means when you throw your emotions on someone else because you feel guilty about them. Okay.
You know what? When girls come together, men too, but we're going to use girls because we're talking about the sisters. When they come together, and if one has an issue with one person, and then another one has an issue with, they can be different issues, but all we need is us to come together against this one person. And no matter how small my issue is with you,
Right.
I'm going to get my sisters or my girls together, and we all going to attack you no
Right.
matter what. So I think that's what it is. Even if Tawanda is mad at Tamar for the spinoff show, she's going to go to her sister and be like, well, what are you mad at her for? Oh, yeah, let me hype you up. Well, Trina, what are you mad at her for? Tracy, what are you mad at her for? So now everyone's mad. And you know when black women get in their head, you know, you can just look at me wrong. I'll be like, let's go get her. We about to tear her up. So I think that's what it is. I think it's just like so many emotions that are just built up, and there can be deeper roots like to this problem, of course, but I think that everyone's just like ganging up on Tamar.
But I think the whole thing is like anytime you have an intervention with somebody, the person that you have an intervention with, their mindset is already in a defensive mode because they feel like everybody's ganging up on them because they feel like I have an issue.
Well, the topic is we're mad at Tamar. Let's get her. That was the point of the intervention, which is ridiculous.
But I think the whole thing is that they should basically had a 101 with Dr. Sherry, so she can kind of like really kind of compile, see what's going on, what's the true identity behind everybody issue with Tamar, and then kind of like, okay, well, I mean, just think like from a psychological perspective.
It's a great point, but I personally feel Dr. Sherry is just there for a check.
Okay, let's find another.
I know she's there for she's probably on retainer because I swear to you, I love the scenes. Tracy, so we're gonna go to Dr. Sherry and see if we can work this out. Like Dr. Sherry, and then they're walking into Dr. Sherry's office, and Dr. Sherry, hi Tamar, hello Braxton sisters. How does that make you feel that Andre can't keep his, you know what, in his pants? It's just so ridiculous. Yeah. One of the things though that in the intervention that was really, really weird was Trina. First of all, her costume was great. I loved her costume.
Cowgirl.
It was like Halloween. It was great.
She's like, she loved those boots.
It's Halloween every day for her.
Yeah, and she was really going a little off as far as she was a little more passionate. Normally, Tawanda's passionate, but Tawanda knows when to fall back a little bit and, you know, keep things cool. But Trina was just, you know, but Dr. Sherry, I was like out in the house and like ew and Tamar, and I just don't know, you know, and it was just, and then she goes ham on the mom, on Mama E. My whole thought process is about Tamar and talking to her mom like that.
Yeah.
First, when your mom is telling you, okay, Trina, okay, that means your ass is gonna get whooped. when they're playing calm and collected, yeah, wait till your dad gets home. You know,
wait till these cameras go off.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just so from left. I don't know why Trina was so mad at her mom.
I think that there are a lot of issues that they're not revealing just to keep, because they're too personal and they don't want the world to know their business. And I think that those are motivating factors as well. So when she's talking to her mom like that, I really do think that, you know, throughout Tamar's life, she can do no wrong in her mom's eyes. And in the next episode, we see that, you know, Tracy has a conversation with her father, and her father kind of sticks up for Tamar, and Tracy walks away and was like, I see that you have her in your pocket too. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I think it's that more that like being the youngest child, that everybody's kind of like they protects the most. And I think that's what it is with like Tamar, with the mom, and with like her, like you said, her father like supporting Tamar and basically taking up for them. It's that basically being the youngest child syndrome, because I have a younger sister, and that what and that excuse me, and that's yeah, and I have a younger sister, and that's what happened with her. Everybody took up for the youngest child, even though it's like she's a year younger than me, but it's like she could do no wrong. And I think that's what it is, and I think that's what Trina was kind of getting at her mom, was like, you see Tamar as no wrong, you know, and all she asks a simple question, yes or no, but as a mom or as a woman, she tries to justify the question that Trina asked, and it's just like, can you just say a yes or no?
Yeah, that's a good point. My question is, do you guys feel like Tamar is wrong in this situation?
I don't No, I don't. Well, here's the thing. We can't say Tamar is wrong because we don't know the truth.
Yeah.
We don't know if she was malicious or secretive with Tamar and Vince. By the way, the show wasn't really any different than Braxton Family Values.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Okay, so what? Tamar made an album. They went to Aruba with LaShawn Daniels and April Daniels. It wasn't, you know.
I guess it's just sitting more on Tamar. It
Right.
wasn't like the Braxton family, like the 4 other sisters. It's just like Tamar,
and Vince.
Vince.
I think the reason why they got a spinoff show is because on the Braxton Family Values, their chemistry and their dynamic was entertaining.
Yeah.
Vince was, and they were always cracking jokes. Of course, it was only logical to give them a spinoff, and they needed, and for the brand of the Braxtons, it's money for the whole family. They need to think about the bottom line. You know, AT&T has cell phones, Uverse, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's all AT&T. It all affects the bottom line.
Exactly.
Same thing with the Tamar events and the BFV. It's all the same.
You really kind of look at it though. Even though the Braxton family came out first, you have the Tamar events. It only basically like inspires people to watch the Braxton family again because of the simple fact that Tamar is going to be on the show relentlessly, and she's going to be who she is on a day-to-day every episode that you see. As soon as like Tamar and Vince come out with the second season, it's like they're going to watch Tamar and Vince, and they're going to wait for the next season for the Braxton family because of the drama that's kind of converted in between Tamar and the family.
Right. And so we can't say she's wrong because the only thing we can say Tamar is wrong for is for the way she acts, her personality, because that's all we see. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, how do you feel about that? Because I hear a lot of the sisters saying, you know, the way she talks to us, the way she acts, you know, she's always talking about her husband, she's always talking about this, but then when we come back at her, she throws this fit, she has this big attitude, and we're trying to get her out of being a spoiled brat. Do you think, you two, think that she's being wrong in that aspect?
Well, most ego-centric people, or I wouldn't, and this is what I've learned over the course of a couple years in this industry, people that are really filled with ego. I mean, we all have an ego, but some people are a little bit more egocentric than others. They're very defensive, and most defensive people are also very sensitive. Tamar obviously is very sensitive, so you have to learn how to cater your conversations and the way you talk to people. And it sucks because you shouldn't have to do that, because believe it or not, you may be coming off like a douchebag, but you're really not. You're just being real because you're strong enough to be like, look, this is how it is.
And that's the point I was trying to get at. I don't think that Tamar is in the wrong because she's just being herself.
Yeah.
And if this is who you knew since birth, then this is Tamar. Either you accept it or you can decide to leave. Why should she have to change or sugarcoat anything because now you have a problem?
But the same thing, picking back off he said, like, I found people who have a lot of insecurities in themselves. They can't take the criticism from other people because they feel like, I'm already insecure myself. It seems like you constantly beating me down. So they have to kind of go in that defense mode to make themselves feel that much better. Or even, like you said, she talks about everybody else. And a lot of times people talks about everybody else because they want to make themselves feel like they're better than everybody else because they having problems.
I don't really think that she talks down to her sisters in a way that's hurtful. I think that, you know, when she was talking about Gabe, which we all admit we will be, you know, having some drinks talking about his little raggedy butt too. And I just think that this is just bogus how they just teamed up on her, and it's ridiculous.
For sure. I think the way they went about it was the interventions are not good. They had, because Trina had an intervention. They had an intervention with Trina. They had an intervention with Tracy about her weight, you know, stuff like that. But I do,
rude.
I think, you know, I mean, right?
Like,
Tracy, you're a boogabear. You got to drop compounds. But I do, and she's actually in person. I've met her in person. She looks great. You know, she's not a big. I mean, she's a full-figured woman, but she's not, you know, Monique. But the thing is about Tamar, Ashley, you make very wonderful, valid points about accepting people for who they are, especially if you've known them since birth to be this way. However, I think Tamar is 35 as of last week. She's a grown woman now. Watching the show, she should know that there's ways to talk to people.
Exactly.
There's ways to communicate. She's a confident, strong, successful, beautiful, talented African-American female. Yes, we love that about you, Tamar. But, you know, especially with family, in my family, I am the outgoing, strong, rambunctious, you know, take no prisoners guy. And my twin brother went to Albuquerque last year, was at a bar, ordered a drink. I told the lady, you know, let's get this moving. My brother's like, well, you're so rude. I'm like, what do you mean? In LA, we talk to bartenders, they love it. You know,
it motivates them.
Yeah, they're like, what you need? And he was like, no, that's so rude. Don't talk. And I'm like, I think that people that aren't used to that, or they're not accustomed to that kind of energy, it's a little off-putting. And like you said, they've known Tamar for a while, but maybe now that she's so successful and has soared to a new level of success and over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
She's more full out. So they're trying. It's really hard for them to get into her, and like you said, some of them may have insecurities. Like I know for a fact Trina and Tracy got issues. And they're jealous of their sister a little bit.
But the thing is, I'm glad that you said that they're jealous, because I definitely feel like they are jealous. And it's like, even if, in my experience, I have a really, I have a big personality. And
I didn't want to say something, but
I mean, but we love you for that.
I'm just saying.
A big personality.
It's like if I were to, because people know who I am and know that I have a very big personality, I'm aggressive in speaking anything. I just, I'm outgoing. If I come and I'm like, you know what, I am sorry for, speaking to you that way. They're already going to be like, this bitch she lies, she fake.
She phony.
Exactly. So it's like, no matter what, it's like, I feel like Tamar will always be in the wrong, because even if she tries to be sincere, they'll be like, you're not gonna do the same thing.
It just kind of goes back to the delivery. Delivery is everything.
But even if you're soft with it, like, I'm so, I'm so sorry.
But they all have the communication barrier, though. No matter what, the whole family has a communication.
They're all burnt. They're all mad. It's like they're all holding. There's a ratchet, and it's really.
I mean, but the thing about it, it's like we say, it's deeper than what they're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully it comes out throughout the season, but I doubt it. But at the same time, it's going to basically everything piggyback to like Tamar this, Tamar that.
For sure.
I'm just kind of waiting to see what the next episode is going to be. Where what do Tamar do next? It's gonna be like they should tweet that.
Hashtag.
What did Tamar do next? Well, at the end of the day, though, Tamar still, she's like, I have to focus on my career. I can't. I mean, she says that I love my sisters to death, and she does. They love each other.
Yeah.
They can't go to the restroom without one going with each other. But she's like, I have, things are happening for her. In the interview with the lady, she says, I thought my time was over. And when she said that, it resonated so much with me, because she's like, I'm 35. I was supposed to be there with Brandy and Monica. I was part of that class. Coming to Aaliyah. We're all the Mean Girls table. We're all coming up. And yet I got dropped. I got left by the wayside. I got stuck singing Doo Wop Pop Pop for Toni Braxton for a decade. Singing backup for Gaga. And now it's her time. Gabrielle Union did an interview in Ebony magazine where she said, wait your turn. Everyone's so in a hurry to have the spotlight and step over each other. Wait your turn. I think Tamar, underneath all the weaves and everything she does and the money, and I think she's a very smart businesswoman. She has a good soul, and she's very sensitive. She's a really just self-realized woman. Yeah. And she just wants what's hers. She wants her piece of the pie. And you can't be mad at that.
I think she just really kind of like you said, it's her turn where she kind of really understand her worth in life right now.
Right.
Because she's been in the industry for like
a minute.
A long time, and now it's just her opportunity to kind of shine. And I think like what it is, I think a couple of the sisters kind of feel a certain way about her shining at this moment at 35, because they're not. Right. Because they don't have the group anymore. They just kind of live a day-to-day life outside of Braxton Family Values. It's like Tamar still have a exciting, motivated life. She has a great team around her. Like her marriage is great, and I think like we always said, it is some type of jealousy, but at the same time, it's like Tamar is basically that outspoken person. She's that extrovert person where a lot of them just kind of like they comfortable in their own means.
Right. I think that if this show never happened, and Tamar wasn't as successful as she is, she could continue being bomb.com, get your life, and they wouldn't care, because there's nothing else that's that's making the situation that much more heated, because now they're famous. Now all the Braxton sisters are famous. And Tamar is just, it's like they all want fame is addicting. Jay-Z says, welcome to Hollywood. Fame is addicting.
It is.
Cameras flashing everywhere you want. It's a drug. And even though they've lived, the Braxtons have been, had some success with Toni and being in that whole genre with her singing backup. They know a little bit about jet setting and what that life can entail. Now that they're all stars, it's like, oh, okay, we want to make sure we hone in.
We keep this.
We want to keep it.
It's greed. It's greed. And Toni walking out of the session, would she apologize for? I was like, Toni, why'd you leave? Like, really?
But at the same time, I understand Toni's frustration because I've been in like family discussions like that between like brothers and sisters, and when it kind of gets to a point to where that no one is listening to each other, it's like, what is the whole purpose of being there? Especially when you're kind of the more subtle one, the more unreasonable person, the one person who always think about things rationally, always kind of come up with a solution for everyone else's problem. Is that when you kind of get to a point where nobody's listening, as if like if the two of you, we trying to resolve a situation, y'all continue to sit and argue and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to hear it no more. I'm gonna get up and just leave. So she just kind of did the respectable thing as an older sibling, to where it's that, hey, you know what? I'm trying to remove myself from the situation. Let's revisit it. And that's with any, like, with the family situation. If you're in a relationship, whether it's a business situation, you should, anytime you have controversy in a situation, you should kind of remove yourself from the situation, and then let's kind of revisit the situation. So I don't fault Toni. You know, at least she didn't kind of like outburst and then walked out. She just kind of like, I'm just removing myself from the situation. I'm sorry.
She disengaged.
Yeah.
Well, AfterBuzzers, hit us up on iTunes and on YouTube. Let us know. Do you think Tamar is in the wrong? Do you honestly feel that maybe Tamar is probably not the bad guy in the situation? I don't think there's any bad guys. I think it's just a lack of, this is poor communication.
They really need some effective communication, and they need someone better than, well, I wouldn't say better than, but Dr. Sher
I mean,
she ain't getting the job done.
I think really what it is that they just really need to like write out everything, what's going on, how they feel, just put everything on the table, and just like sometimes nonverbal communication is more of an effective way of communicating. Because a lot of time when you kind of say things directly, it's your tone of voice, it's your delivery, and you know everybody in the Braxton family, they talk with the hands. And you know, hands means a lot to people, especially black people. It's just like, why you talking to me like that? Put your hands down, you know. And I just think that, that just kind of put them on edge and defensive. I think if they actually take the time out to write a letter or write, you know, this is how I really feel and these are the really issues that I have, nobody can really argue about that.
You know what, Braxtons? I think we got a new doctor.
I know,
Dr.
Shamar.
I mean, if you guys want him on the show,
for bookings, email us at
AfterBuzz.
Or also, Larice, I think if, you know, sometimes it just takes kindness to, you know, when you have issues with friends, you're mad, but like I have a best friend and we fight sometimes, but afterwards I'm like, dude, I love you, man. You're my ace. You're stupid sometimes, but at the end of the day, this is your homie though. This is my twin brother. We fight too, but I would never in life not want to talk to him or ever have those kind of issues with him, you know. So there we have it. That the gist of this show was more of the same. Tamar didn't walk out.
She didn't. She see.
But you know what? She was eating nuts the whole time. She was just like, I don't got time for that.
She gotta keep
that
from
protein
going off at the mouth.
I ain't got time
for
that.
Either you gotta chew some gum or
keep
you
her
gotta
mouth dry.
Smoke a cigarette.
Hey, but you know what? I think the next episode should be like Swallow My Pride.
Right, and they should also do a song together.
It's like Swallow My Pride. Hey, it might actually hurt.
I mean, just bust it. I love you.
Oh God.
Swallow my pride.
No. Honestly, Brax, I hope we get something meatier than this. You know, Tamar-vention, because this is getting old, you know.
And here's the thing, though, now, and we're talking about this when we're reviewing the show in our state-of-the-art viewing, babe. When they do reality TV shows, they have storylines and things that they map out for what, you know, reality TV is very scripted now.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me that this show has become about their issues with the show they're doing. You know, most times you'll watch a reality show, you would never ever see on the Hills, Kristen's getting more airtime on this show that we're doing.
It's very weird.
It's so weird. It's almost like a documentary.
Yeah.
They should film it like a documentary because when Tawana says, well, you know, she didn't want to do Braxton Family Values. Sweetie, we're watching the show. I mean, like,
and she's right there.
On the show,
it's so crazy. Here. It's like an alternate universe. It's very weird, and that just leads me to believe that maybe a lot of the sisters don't have anything exciting going on, so they have to create this turmoil.
Which is really interesting because Trina, our cowgirl, gonna say, I mean, we're all working. We all. Honey,
what are you doing?
What you doing?
What are you doing?
Tracy has Believe, you know, her.
And Tawanda.
Exactly.
So it's like nobody really has anything else going on. But I mean, Toni's actually trying to make a comeback.
I
mean, she's doing like a lot of things. Every episode is like she's doing something.
Right.
And I hope we continue to see Toni like to grow in her career. Hopefully she comes out with another album and hit more than gold. So, you know, like and I hope the other Braxton sisters eventually start to develop and do things.
Yeah. And I think they will. I think they're pretty popular. Well, let's move on to news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So I was reading online that, you know, Tamar Braxton's long-awaited album is set to drop April 26th. I'm really excited for it. There's supposed to be a lot of cool production on there and a lot of great ballads, a lot of cool songs. So let's hope that it's amazing. And also, they have, like, Lady Gaga did tweet and say that she does support Tamar. I actually read that tweet when she sent it out. Really, really cool. So let's hope that this album is off the hook. I don't think she's going to tour because she is pregnant. She is with child.
Yeah.
How do they do it?
That's what I said.
Right.
No, I wasn't gonna say that.
you
but I was gonna basically say like, how is it that like, you know, she has a new album coming out, but she gets pregnant?
Who does
most
that?
Most people will wait to after like, hey, I have a new album dropping. I'm doing a tour for the summer, and then in the fall, like, I'm with child.
Well, they were having with child. I'm with child.
I'm with child.
Well, you know, there were fertility issues, so I don't think that they knew that, you know, we could possibly get pregnant.
Strap it up.
Because they may have had just, you know.
Well, I'm glad the eggs finally got their life.
Yeah! Get your life,
embryo.
Got it.
Get your life.
So I'm really excited for them because it's something that they were not expecting and they didn't plan for, but it's such a blessing and it's so beautiful.
Right.
Because she didn't want it. That's why she froze her eggs, but you know, it happened naturally and I think it's beautiful.
But at the same time, I don't think it should stop her from doing tours.
No,
Alicia Keys,
But Alicia Keys is not dropping, popping like it's hot. She's behind a piano.
I mean, well, Tamar had to change her routine.
Could you imagine I love you. There you have it, you guys. Let's move on to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Hold on. You know what? I'm not going to predict squat because I mean, it's been more of the same every week. So actually, you know, you seem to have more of an intuition and intuitive nature in regards to the black female mama drama. What you think?
I don't.
It's nothing. It's the same.
I really don't think that there's going to be anything different. I hope you guys are not too bored with us because we are trying to, you know, pull these topics out of a hat.
I think we're very entertaining.
I hope so.
I think we're very entertaining.
What are we going to talk about? It's another Tamar-vention.
Every week.
Hey,
Crickets.
Well, you know what? Let's leave it at that. You know what? Again, hit us up on iTunes and YouTube. Let us know what you guys are predicting, what you think is going to happen on the Braxton Family Values. Is Tamar going to lose it? Is Tamar going to finally get together? Maybe the baby is going to calm her booty down.
Maybe.
Not on this season.
No?
Not this season.
I think so.
I think like the Tamar and Vince show, we might actually see more of the pregnancy there and what kind of took place with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it. Maybe at the end of the season, she might announce it.
Maybe. Well, we'll see. There you guys have it. That's all for the Braxton's Family Value After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Until next week, I am Jason J. Carter. You can find me online at Jason J. Carter and also on Twitter at JJC Forever.
Okay.
Hey, it say ladies first, you know.
Okay. Well, I am Ashley Gray. As always, please tweet me at @TweetNinaMarieGray. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Nina Marie Gray and at me as a friend on Facebook. I would love to hear your comments about the show. As well as, please give us 5 stars. I don't want 4. I want 5.
And I'm your host, Larice Shamar. You can find me at Larice Shamar and TruePeoplesMedia.com. Thank you.
Awesome, you guys. Until next week, guys, have a great week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Resurrection Day for the black folk.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.